Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Baker here again. So happy to be back with you again today. Maybe yesterday you even saw a sneak peek at my pumpkin versus seed screen. And this might even look familiar to you as maybe you talked about this in your classroom last week. So, in celebration of fall and pumpkins and all those things that are just fun to pick and harvest at this time of the year, I want you to think about a pumpkin as being the large writing topic and the seed as a smaller writing topic. That's right, because today I'm back again to talk about narrative writing and to share with you an example of the difference between a pumpkin versus a seed story as a quick reminder and a way that helps me to choose my topics for writing. When you look over to the left at the large pumpkin, in the middle, you'll see a topic that I thought would be fun to write about: our family vacation to Jamaica. But you know what? That is a really, really, really big story because we were there for a week, my family and I. And so I thought, well, there were lots of little stories that I could tell about my trip or vacation to Jamaica, and those would be the seeds. I could talk about the time we spent on the beach or the days that we spent by the pool, swimming up to order drinks and food. I could talk about the day we went shopping for souvenirs in the town. I could talk about the Dunn's River Falls, where we got to climb a waterfall. We went zip lining. That was really fun. All of these seeds are ideas for stories on their own. I could write a story about my trip to Jamaica and say, first we went to the beach, then we went to the pool. After that, we went shopping for souvenirs. But first of all, those things didn't all happen on one day. And that's a lot of stuff to tell. That's a pretty big story. So I decided to break this story down into a smaller part or seed. And I chose to write about the time on our vacation to Jamaica that my family and I went to a place called the Dunn's River Falls. So, authors, the first thing I want you to think about today when you get ready to write is your story idea big like a pumpkin? Or have you thought it through and maybe come up with a smaller story to tell, that seed? Think about that before you write today. And today's lesson is all about the beginning. Remember yesterday, I told you that each day of the week we would see these big words, I can. Okay, that's the goal for writing today. I can grab the reader's attention. What does that mean? I'm not going to grab them. No, but I want to hook them into my story. Just like a hook would grab a fish if there was bait on the end. Well, I want the reader to start reading my story and keep reading. So I want to make sure that my beginning is pretty interesting. And today we're going to talk about 4 different ways that you can begin your story. You might begin with a question. You might begin with a setting that describes when and where the story takes place. You might use a sound word or two. All right, boys and girls, you ready for this? Using sound words are called onomatopoeia. Say that with me. Onomatopoeia. That's right. Those are words like crash, bang, boom, words that mean a sound. Or you could start your story by saying something funny. Those are just 4 ways that you can grab your reader's attention with a really thoughtful beginning. There are many more, but these are the 4 that we're going to talk about today. I told you that I'm going to write a story about the time my family and I went to the Dunn's River Falls in Jamaica. So I'm going to first share with you a picture of my family. This is my husband, and I have an older son, Brandon, a middle child, Colin, and a younger daughter, Natalie. And we all went together on vacation last year to this waterfall. This is just part of it. There are many, many, many different parts of the waterfall, and it took us over an hour to climb from the bottom to the top. And so I started thinking about the story of our time at the waterfall. And I started to think, how could I start the story or begin the story with a question? So today I just wanted to share with you some different ways I could start the same story, but in different ways. And so I thought I could ask a question. Have you ever climbed a waterfall before? I think that would grab someone's attention, especially if they haven't. They may want to read on to find out more. Or I could describe the setting. One hot summer day, my family and I went to the Dunn's River Falls. In this particular story beginning, I tell the where, Dunn's River Falls. I tell when, one hot summer day. I even include who, my family. So you could describe the setting. You could use a sound word or two. I chose splish splash. You ready? Splish splash went the sounds of the water over the rocks. Again, trying to grab the reader's attention. And if I start the story in an interesting way, they may keep reading. Or I could say something funny, like, I was holding onto my family so tightly as I slipped into the cold water. Can you picture that in your head? Can you picture my family laughing at me? And they were laughing because I was laughing too. It was funny. So, boys and girls, as you get ready to write today, I want you to really focus on the beginning of your story. Yes, you're still going to write all three parts of your story: the beginning, the middle, and the end. But today, we want you to really, really think about starting your story in an interesting and fun way. All of the pictures that I've showed and shared with you today are also in your assignment slide deck. So if you want to see that poster one more time, be sure when you click on your assignments that you look carefully at the posters provided for you there. And again, today, in case you can't come up with a topic or something to write about, maybe you're going to write about a time you went on vacation with your family, but don't pick all the parts of the vacation. Pick your favorite part. Was it building sandcastles? Was it going mini golfing? And really try to focus your story on that one smaller moment in time. And if you can't think of any vacation stories, then maybe you could tell about a time you opened a great gift, or tell about a time you went to the store. And when you're writing today, now we have two writing goals, okay? Because we want to keep in mind what we learned yesterday about what narrative writing is, and also today about how to hook the reader from the beginning of your story. So when you're writing today, be sure that you're writing a narrative story. I can tell a story about my life. And also think about that story starter or story beginning. I can write the beginning of my story with a hook that will grab the reader's attention. All right, boys and girls, that was a lot of information for today. Please feel free to rewatch the video and to look at the posters within your assignment. And remember, today's all about the hook. Grab that reader's attention, and let's see if you can do that for your teachers tomorrow. Have fun writing.